Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by Carbonite.
Today on Variant, I talk about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show and how scientists actually discovered a species of Ninja Turtles that really eat pizza. Okay, that's not true at all. Welcome to Variant, where we love comics more than hipsters love independent coffee shops. I'm your host, Arris. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are back on TV once again with their own animated series, this time in 3D animation, much like their TMNT movie a couple years back, which was great, by the way. And since I love the Turtles oh so much, it's time for me to do what I do best, and that's breaking it down and give you guys the facts. Sometimes opinions, but most of the time facts. Also, a real-life Ninja Turtles van, but that's later. Right now, I'm going to give you your first comic IQ hint.
This comic is the #1 selling single comic issue of all time.
Once again, the Turtles in a Half Shell are back with their own brand new animated series on Nickelodeon. So let's talk about what's good about the show, what's bad about the show, and what are the similarities to the Ninja Turtles comics. First, the good. The show basically just takes a bunch of different pieces from all their other previous movies and cartoons and mashes them all together in one big ball of Turtle Fury awesomeness. The show is doing a great job on focusing on the personalities of each of the Turtles, which is great for people just getting into the Ninja Turtles universe, but still works for longtime fanboys and girls of our amphibian heroes. So Leonardo is still the leader, Donatello is still the smart one, Michelangelo is still the funny one, and Raphael is still always pissed off at everything. One thing I really love is how the Turtles' eyes turn white when it's time to lay the smackdown, if you will. It reminds me of Batman or Green Lantern. Just looks freaking sick. I mean, can you imagine you're gonna go fight someone and their eyes turn white? No. F that noise. Speaking of sick, the fighting in 3D animation looks stupendous. I mean, it's marketed and aimed for kids, but it looks really great. I'm a real big fan of the TMNT movie a couple years back, and this falls right along the lines of that movie, so yes, please. One big change they did from the original animated series was Krang. This time around, there are a crap ton of Krang. Instead of just one, this time they're a race of aliens that put their Krang bodies into human robot suits. I'm not really mad about it though. Sure, I love the original Krang as much as the next guy, but I don't really mind this change. They do talk kind of funny, but I don't mind it. Now let's talk about the bad. I really don't think the show is bad at all, but I do have a few complaints. I don't like how they made Michelangelo dumb. He's supposed to be the party cowabunga guy, but not just plain dumb, so that annoys me just a little bit. They also made April O'Neil a teenager, which is extremely weird for me because I've always known her as older, so it's just gonna take some getting used to. And now that she's younger, spoiler alert, Donatello has her crush on her. So there's that. Now, not many people would agree with me on this one, at least I don't think so, but I wish they would have given them all red bandanas like they have in the comics. Over the years, they've all had different color bandanas in their movies and cartoons, so the audience would never get confused with who's who. So it makes sense, it's just my little fanboy nerdiness coming out. For those of you who have seen the show, I don't know if you've noticed, but the very last frame of the opening for the show is an homage to the very first cover of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comics. So when I first spotted it, I was like, no way, that's actually really cool. So all in all, this is one of my favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV shows. It's cool, it's fun, it cures my TMNT fix. Watch it. There's plenty of cars from cartoons and comics I wish I owned in real life. One of them being the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles van from the original animated series. I mean, I just loved that thing as a kid. Seeing it drive around, shooting pizzas and whatnot out of it was just friggin' awesome. But one guy actually made one in real life, and it looks identical. It just screams my childhood. I mean, who wouldn't want this van? A crazy person. It even has the orange foot tenderizer door that smashes any foot member that's near the van. It has the orange guns on top. It even has a turtle sewer cover in the front. It pretty much has everything. The van in total cost around $20,000 to make. With all things considering though, to have an iconic car like this from your childhood, it isn't too shabby. It's not too shabby at all. What's really cool and funny is the guy who owns this van played by Boo from the original Power Rangers series and later did stunt work as the Red Ranger. But now, another comic IQ hint.
This issue came out in 1991 and was drawn by fan favorite artist Jim Lee.
Carbonite protects your pictures and your other files from a computer crash, fire, theft, or when you accidentally delete a file by automatically and continually backing up your files and keeping them securely off-site. You'll never have to remember to back up again. Whether you have 1 or 2 computers at home or several computers at your business, Carbonite is the better backup plan. Over 1 million customers trust Carbonite to protect their home and small business computer files with plans starting at $59 a year. Start a free trial at Carbonite.com with the offer code VARIANT and you'll get 2 bonus months if you decide to buy. That's Carbonite.com and the offer code for 2 bonus months is VARIANT. Did you know creators of the Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, created Turtles all because of a humor sketch drawn by Mr. Eastman? They were brainstorming one night, according to Laird. He said, "We got real punchy and started drawing to amuse ourselves. As the evening evolved, Kevin drew an upward standing turtle with nunchucks strapped to its arms and called it a Ninja Turtle. Peter, aware of a nifty idea when he saw one, asked why not a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Using money from a tax refund and a loan from Eastman's uncle, the two artists self-published a single-issue comic intended to parody 4 of the early 80s most popular comics like Daredevil, New Mutants, Dave Sim's Cerebus, and Frank Miller's Ronin. Thus, our heroes in a half shell were born." First up for Wednesday the 28th, we have I, Vampire issue 14, F Twilight. This is where it's at. Here we have Marvel Now A+X issue 2, Spider-Man and Beast fight zombies. Does this issue really need any more explanation? And here we have All New X-Men issue 2. The first issue in the series was pretty darn good, so I'm excited about issue 2. In it, Professor X's 5 original students have been flown from the past to present day while they cope with an unimaginable future, especially considering the fallout of AVX. And here we have Fatale issue 10. Noir at some of its best sums up this comic series. Ed Brubaker, longtime writer of Captain America, is killing it with this title. If you love bloody crime stories and you aren't reading this, you need to. And finally, we have Alpha Girl issue 5. The miniseries finally comes to an end. This zombie-like comic has been one of my favorite miniseries out, and the finale of the series is described to have more blood than Halloween and more crazy broads than showgirls. That's a lot of crazy broads.
The characters in this comic were created by Stan Lee in 1963. He said he decided to have them born with their powers as he was running out of ways for characters to acquire them. The answer is X-Men issue 1.
Well, now it's time to announce the winner from last week's Versus segment. Was it Green Arrow or Hawkeye? Well, the winner is Green Arrow. It was really cool to see the turnout and who you guys voted for. I actually agree with the pick. I've loved his comics ever since I was a kid, and him in the Justice League cartoons. But we'll definitely be doing more of these to see what heroes come out on top. That's it for another day on Variant. If you have any thoughts on anything I just talked about, leave it in the comment section below. Also, if you have any suggestions on things you want me to do an episode on, again, leave it in the comment section below, and I can see if I can make any of your fine people's wishes come true. But be sure to like our Variant Facebook page. You can also follow me at Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones. And I will see you next week when I do a Star Wars themed episode. Way to step it up, Nickelodeon. Way to step it up.